Good evening, everyone. Um, I think we are correcting almost after 2 weeks, and I hope you utilize this period of silence, period of break well. And those who are lagging behind, caught up somewhere, got a chance to cover up some and be with your fellow students, if not at par, but at least be close. And I think from this week, you will be getting around 4 or 5 lectures every week. And after which, we will again have a break of probably a couple of weeks or 3 weeks. So, yeah. And as I've already mentioned before, the lectures are going to get a bit more complex. Some more layers are going to be added. I think you have gotten only lecture 11. Uh, I'll upload the lecture number 12 after this live session. And after that, the lecture 13th is where the layer of moving averages will get added to your analysis. So up till now, we were looking at the structures, the trend, higher highs, higher lows, supports and resistances. Lecture 13 adds a layer of moving averages. We have covered time frames. Then, we will look at the moving averages in a linear one time frame. Then you'll also look at multiple time frames along with what? Your moving averages. So, things get interesting. You get more clarity over the doubts you have. So I was reading all the queries of your group, and somebody said, in fact, this is something that has been said multiple times, that how do we know where the pullback stops? Relativity answers you, but still, there is a lot of subjectivity around relativity, and that's true, absolutely fine. And that is the exact work that we will be doing from here onwards. How do we make this subjective relativity into something more objective? So you get clarity over there. And somebody asked, that uh, where in time the answer will be in location, but he was not able to find that answer. Again, see, up till now we have covered structures, higher highs, higher lows, previous resistances turning into supports, and so. So the definition of location is what? These areas. Right now. Moving averages are also what? Area of location. Then, in the lecture number 21, you will have RSI. That is also part of location. So it's not that, the location is just one concept or that is all about it. As I said, everything glued together. So RSI with location, moving averages with location. So again, location is a concept. It's a very broad concept. It's not just about your price, supports and resistances. There's more to it. So, yeah, if you try to find the answers, you may have difficulties because there are a few gaps still left, which will get covered as you move forward. But as I said, try your best. Once you have tried your best, list out all the points where you were able to find the answers with the knowledge that you have, and what are those areas where you're still having some trouble to get some clarity. That's the way. I'm not expecting answers. I'm not expecting something correct or something wrong. There's nothing as such. What I'm looking for is effort. An effort that has focus in it. See, even when you ask a question, there are ways to ask a question. You can just type it out without giving much of a thought. A doubt comes, you immediately go and type it out in the group and ask that. That is one way. That is shallow work. Then the other way is that, okay, there is a doubt comes, you acknowledge what is the doubt, where is it coming from, You go back again, you study. If the doubt is about locations, go back to the lecture, see where exactly, we probably have discussed, see what live session we were discussing. That's why I say, no, your making notes is important. Otherwise, the content, as you know, right, there's a lot of content to come. If you know which live session has what topics, just list it down in bullet points in our diary. It'll be easier for you to go back to any live session and just quickly revise it. So, few organized minutes spent here will save you a lot of hours as you move forward. And the other way to ask a question is you deeply go into that question, you stay with that doubt, you stay with that question for a couple of days, and you come up with that question with a chart highlighting everything, and then also showing that what exactly did you do to answer that question, to figure out the answer to that question. So that's exactly what I'm seeing here. Now, I'm not expecting much. I'm not expecting anything correct or anything wrong or any answer. I'm expecting effort with focus. You post one chart, I have no problem with that. Perhaps you post a couple of charts in a week. That's also fine to get started. Even one chart a week is fine, but I need to see some clean effort that has a lot of focus in it and it is visible. I mean, just see your charts. Before coming to this live session, I saw Mohammed Rizwan's chart. Look at that chart. How beautiful. And there is a lot of difference. See, any office chart, when we started, and I did not give you that video on how to practice, and just see the chart he has posted. So much difference, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure when you practice this way, you spend the same amount of time, but you get more out of it. The output is just more. And that will happen with you in trading. If your efforts are shallow, your results will be shallow no matter what I teach you, how many lectures I make for you, how many live sessions and charts, whatever we do, it won't help you at all. The day you start getting serious and show some depth in your work, you will see you're not doing anything different. You have not increased your hours. You're not putting more time into it. There's nothing special. It's all the same. It's just that there is more depth in your work. There's more focus. And that will reflect in your trading account. So this is important because that is exactly what you're here for. To make money and to make as much as you can to the best of your capabilities. I mean, it's not 30%, it's not 40%. Could be 100, could be 200. I don't know. So that's the way to approach this because I believe trading is not about just technical analysis. It's about who you are as a person and how do you develop yourself while you're learning everything. So why not, that while you learn the technical analysis, you also try to figure out things about yourself. Otherwise, once you learn technical analysis, then you will run into problems. Then you will work on yourself. It'll take up a lot of your time. Something that can happen in 1 year or 1.5 years or perhaps in 8 months. Why to spend 2, 3, 4 years on that? So that's what we are doing because see, honestly, if I tell you, if for the next 8 or 6 months, if you give yourself here, with a lot of focus and dedication, you can expect some amazing performances. That has happened with every batch and I've seen it. So if somebody wants that, by what time I can expect to trade, by what time I can expect to make some money, I'm saying give 6 or 8 months. The next 6 or 8 months, you'll not be only able to trade, you'll not be only able to make money, you'll be able to perform at a level you probably did not even imagine or thought you will be able to, and the way you will do it. See, there are a lot of people who are making money with a low win rate, 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever. But have you ever figured out what are the behind the scenes of their trading? Ever thought about this? For me, what is important is how do you feel? I'm not that shallow that I'm just going to teach you that, okay, these are the methods that will make you money. What is more important is how does it make money for you? If there is a lot of stress, there is a lot of anxiety, you're not able to sleep at night, you're checking the international markets, and you're making money, ask yourself, is it worth it? I don't think anybody would say it's worth it. That is also important. And I'll take care of that. And that is exactly why we are learning so much, in so much depth. And that is why we are able to figure out why. Because once you know the why, you will be able to pick up so big positions with so much peace and calm. But only when you work towards it. So I can give you the techniques, I can give you the methods, but are you the person who's capable of handling that? If you are not, then what's the point of having that? It'll not come of any use to you. So that is very important. And why this is important? Because see, once you are in lecture number 19th, you will be at a place where I will then expect you to trade and show me some results. Right now, as I've said, right, that's why I'm saying, till the time I'm not asking you to anticipate on the right-hand side, to scan for the stocks, to make watch list, don't do it. There'll come a point of time where I'll ask you, what is your performance? And you'll not be able to show up then. And that's embarrassing. For me, it's embarrassing for me. Might not be for you, but it's embarrassing for me. So right now is the time, you have a lot of time, put it in good practice. After lecture 19, you won't have to ask for which stocks to track or I'm anticipating this or that. I'll ask you, what is your performance? What are the numbers? How are you feeling? What work have you done? I'll come first. So, right now, whatever the time you have, make the best use of that. Great. So, I think we have gotten lecture 11. Lecture number 12 is about candles in contraction, because I think this is something, the big question that you asked, I think Ajay asked it in the group. I made a video for that because I thought I'll make it, but there's more about the candles in contraction, because so far what we have done is expansions. We have looked at expansions, right? The DNAs, the CB candles. We have seen in detail about that. Now we are going to go into the detail about candles in your contraction, how they should be. And later on, there will be a question that will be thrown at you in the brainstorming, but it'll come much later on. Or it'll come in lecture number 19th or 20th, is that what is the difference between tight and loose structures? You may note this down. This will come, I think, in 4 months or 3 months. But the question will be, what is the difference between tight and loose structures? What are the implications of this in your trading? What do they imply? And this is a lecture that you will get next, lecture number 12, where you will get the answer. Great. Now, there is a point about relativity. I think Clavino asked it, because I remember that stock had blue candles and black background. May be wrong here, but I think it was Clavino. So he asked basically that, he was having difficulty in gauging the relativity. The same stock, till one higher high, it had 148%, 143% up move. And there was another high on the right hand side, which when you take that in account, it was 163, 168%. And he asked which one to take, because, then the relativity and all that comes in place. So I'm having difficulty. Now just think, 143% versus 163, 168%. I'll say it's 150%. You will tell it's 143, I'll say it's 150. You will say it's 168, it's 150. Does it make a difference? No. Honestly, it doesn't make a difference. So you just pick the first one, although this is something which I'll take up later on, but let me just take this moment to introduce you to that particular concept. I'll just draw a diagram and show it to you. Although you'll get that into detail later on. But the point is pretty simple, so I'll show you how the chart looked like that he posted. And it was something, you had this up move, then you went a little bit here, and then you again went up, and then you basically went into a long consolidation. And he asked whether basically till this point it was 143, 148. until this point, when computed from here, this is 168 or something. So which one to take? Where does the expansion end? Is this a part of expansion or is this a part of contraction? I mean, see, you pick this, the relativity is same for both. It's 150%, right? If this would have been around 230% or somewhere, then that is a different case, definitely. Or this would have been 100% or 120%, then definitely there is a difference. At 143 and 168, it's 150. You get that point? And that's what I've said previously for relativity. It's something common sense, 10%, 13% the same, but 28%, 34% is different, right? 7%, 10%, 13% is the same. At times, even 20% is the same. But 30, 40% is different. And then 60, 80% is different. And then 140, 150% is different. These are the broad categories. So, commonsensical approach. So again, you may draw this line and say that okay, this is also a part of contraction. Or you may draw a line from here. You may say the contraction started from here on. Doesn't matter why, because there is there's not a lot of difference in these two. Now you learn something in your lecture number 20, right? Yeah, it's in the V12. What you will see is you might have seen these structures, let's say, right? In the markets, you must have seen these structures. And then there are structures which look like this. So there is a difference in these two structures which you will learn in these. And that is exactly, there's some similarity I see in this and this concept that you will learn. So we'll see that. But anyways, I hope you get the answer, you get the point. Great. Now, let's come to this point. As I've said, right? Expansions are important. The CB candles are important, but with equal weightage, I would say your contractions are as important as your expansions. So let's say that there is, a good CB candle or a couple of good CB candles. Let's say one candle is like this, has some element of wick. That's fine. Then there is another candle which looks like this. So you see, and let's say, this is 8% up and this is 14%. So yeah, 22% up, pretty good solid candles. So far, so good. Now, what is important to observe is the contraction. What happens in contraction? Your contraction may start with a candle like this. Is it good? Is this a contraction which is good? Till this point, while you were here, nothing happened on the right hand side. Yes, it was good. But what happened next? Contraction is pretty bad. Now again, what may happen is, according to all the analysis, everything that you will know, you may get a candle like this, then you get a candle like this, then you get a candle like this. Now again, you will say that, okay, whatever you're saying, the analysis was right and all that. The stock did give you, let's say, 20% move as per the DNA. The question comes is it worthy of putting your money in this? I'm not saying don't trade or this cannot be traded. Everything can be traded. But the point is it worthy? You have to ask yourself, is it worthy? See the volatility. These wicks that you see may be of 6%. The wicks, not even the body. These wicks may be 8%. This may be 4%. The question is it worthy? There will be a lot of fluctuations in your MTM and a lot of negative numbers. Is it worthy? If you say it is worthy to me, please go ahead and take the trade. But if you say, no, it's not worthy, fine then. Let it be. Now let's compare a stock to this. Let's say that you get another stock which looks like this. The CB candles are amazing, just like the previous case. And then the contraction that you see starts like this. Now see the difference in this and in this. These fluctuations are what? 2% or 3% maximum. And I would look here. 6-8% fluctuations, right? Let's say you bought on this day. At one point you were 8% up, but by end of the day you are down probably 1%, 2% or 0. And the very next day, let's say the stock goes down 4%. See the fluctuations. So was it worthy? That's something very personal. You have to draw your boundaries, what is worthy and what is not. For me, that is not. And this is definitely worthy. So I'll take this trade happily. So both the trades at the end of the day, let's say, will give you 20% move. Also the question is the worthiness of that particular thing. And that is decided by the contractions. If the contractions are very volatile and you are ready to take this experience, right? I mean, just see, let's say you put 10 lakh rupees, right? Let's say you put 10 lakhs, basically it's a good amount. And your stock goes down by 6%. I'll be minus 60,000, right? Let's say the next day, or rather before this minus 6%, you see that at 1 p.m. the stock was up plus 8%, right? That means plus 80,000. And then you went on to do your work, your office and all that. By end of the day, you get home and you say, okay, let me check the position. How is it doing? You are expecting, right? Good numbers. And you see it's actually closed at minus 2% and you are at minus 20,000. And the next day it's minus 6 or minus 80 or whatever the number. And then, after a few days, then it slowly comes up. You're at minus 15,000. After 5, 6, 7 days, then you get to see what? 2 lakh plus. The question is, was it worthy? Will you be able to take it? Versus just see here. Let's say you buy anywhere here and you see the stock goes down by minus 2%. So it's minus 20%, minus 20,000. That's fine. And in a couple of days, you see it goes to 2 lakhs. Pretty simple, pretty decent. Versus this. From plus 80 to almost minus 80 and then again to 2. If you can take this, please go ahead and take the trade. If you cannot, draw your boundary, skip this stock. So the point is, expansions are important. You have to see the quality. And honestly, okay, you right now may find it a bit difficult, but if you have seen my charts, you would have seen the color-coded candles. You will get that indicator, I think, after lecture number 19. So, the life gets easier. In this academy, there is one thing that, after lecture 19, although a lot of stuff is happening, but life starts to get easier in terms of the process and the tools that you will be using. So that's a good thing. I've tried to keep it difficult. I've tried to keep it demanding. I don't think difficult is the right word. I would say demanding. But if you give it the respect it deserves, you'll get everything. Nothing to worry about. Right? So the point is, yes, expansions are important, but so are the contractions. Always, now when you see the stocks, see the contractions. How are they happening? Is it worthy or is it not? So, and the question that I asked, right? The tight versus the loose structures. More things are there, more technical things are over there that, why some stocks are like this while some are like this. What is the reason behind that? We'll see that. But I've basically given you a class on trade management and how to draw personal boundaries. You get 10 opportunities and, you'll have the knowledge that you will be able to figure out where the trades are, But then it all boils down to, is it worthy or not? So this live session is a bit towards trade management, but as I've said, right, this is how the academy is structured. You're at live session 10, but you're getting stuff which is beyond lecture number 20. Because when we will learn about trade management, you will get a better idea of all these things. Great. So now, so far, we have covered a lot of stuff. Now you're basically moving in the direction where you'll start getting a lot of answers to the doubts you have had, which somehow didn't get clarified, or you are basically lacking something over there. You'll get a lot of stuff over there. But the point is, as I've said, the content will get demanding. And if you truly devote yourself and understand the next coming 4 lectures that you will get, till I would say lecture 18th, then anything that comes from lecture 19th, it's a cakewalk. It's a cakewalk, and there'll be a lot of moments of euphoria. As till lecture 18th, it's all individual pieces of puzzle you will get. Lecture 19th is where I will start gluing everything together for you. Right? I will start gluing everything for you. So, when we are at lecture 18th, that will be the point of time you will have all the pieces with you. Not the cosmetics, very structural. You will have everything. What are the cosmetics? RSI is the cosmetic. It's something confirmatory. But it helps a lot. It helps actually a lot. Let's say if somebody wants to build algorithm, right? You want to automate your process. Then, that is the point where these indicators like moving averages and RSI will help you. Moving averages, again, in the academy, how we will use that, it's entirely different than how you have been using them. So I'll keep that in a different category. But RSI is something, if you want to build an algorithm, you want to automate your process, you want a lot of objectivity, then RSI and all these MACD and indicators help you. So yeah, that's basically your journey ahead, how it goes. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what is coming and how you need to approach that. That is important. So, yeah, I mean, if you feel that you may need a week or so after this live session, after knowing everything, if you need a week off, if you need a couple of weeks off, collectively as a group, if you feel, please feel free to let me know that you need a week off, or you need some time to gather yourself and prepare yourself for the lectures that are about to come. Great. Fine, then for this, okay, I'll keep the discussions till here. Fine, then I'll open up this live session for your queries, for your questions if you have any, or any observations that you have made. How do you feel about things now? Let's talk about all those, because it's been a long time. So you may raise your hand and then we'll discuss. Yes, Ashdeep.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, I find the जो 3 to 5 candle जो topic है उसमें I find it a bit subjective till now. Sir, can you open the chart of Electra?
Okay.
I have an observation there. It's a on monthly charts. सर इन द टाइम फ्रेम लेक्चर आपने ओलेक्ट्रा चार्ट का जो क्वेश्चन दिया था उसमें, तो सर इसमें जो 2023 में जब से स्टॉक ऊपर जाना शुरू किया है, यस सर, तो सर बिफोर इट देयर इज अ लोकेशन ऑफ रेजिस्टेंस ऑल टाइम हाई,
करेक्ट।
जी सर, तो उसमें वहाँ तक स्टॉक 3 to मतलब 4 to 5 कैंडल ऑलरेडी मतलब मूव कर चुका है। तो सर उसके बाद अगर स्टॉक मतलब ऊपर जा रहा है तो मतलब तो कैंडल इसने और मूव किया है ऊपर, सेम सेम JBMA में भी ऐसे ही है। तो लोकेशन अगर 3 to 5 कैंडल ऑलरेडी मूव कर चुका है लोकेशन तक तो उसके बाद ब्रेकआउट का मतलब सर मुझे थोड़ा सा उसमें डाउट आ रहा है कि लोकेशन पर जो कॉन्ट्रैक्शन है वो मैटर करती है ब्रेकआउट में, या सर पुश जो है वो कैसे हम डिसाइड करेंगे कि ये ब्रेकआउट ऊपर की तरफ देगा, पुश की तरफ जाएगा या नीचे की तरफ?
Okay, chalo, let's see. So basically, your question is, by the time a stock, let's say, reaches a location of resistance while it was consolidating, and just to reach that level of resistance, the location, it has already given 3 or 5 candles, right?
यस सर।
What happens after that? Will there be a good breakout, or will there be a weak breakout, and how to go about it? Is that your question?
यस सर, एग्जैक्टली।
Oh, see, first of all, it's very valid that, see, if the stock is taking 5 candles move just to reach at the resistance, right? The probabilities are that you may not get a good breakout from there. High chances. You may not get a very good move, good momentum, clean momentum. The stock may struggle to go up, go into a long consolidations. Why long consolidations? Already done 3-5 candles on a particular time frame. So if monthly decides to consolidate for 5 months, if you see it on the daily, it will be a long consolidation. I hope you understand this language now, whenever I use these words, long consolidation and all that.
यस सर।
But then there will be at times you will see that it took 5 candles to reach the resistance and continued on to give another 3, 5, 6 candles, right?
यस सर, लाइक JBMA में 4 to 5 कैंडल लोकेशन के बाद काफी अच्छा मूव किया है।
Yeah.
यस सर।
Okay. Now see, you see this candle,
यस सर।
this is a 20% candle, decent candle. And then these candles are nothing honest. It's a 3% candle on monthly, where the scale of a single candle is 30-50%, you are getting a candle of 3%. It's nothing. And then the next candle is 7%. The next candle is 12%. And then the next happens to be 24. And then the next one goes up about 65. Now, let's have a look at this area on your weekly. You will probably be able to appreciate it better, see it better. How does it look on those time frames? Now see this. There is a move, there is a consolidation, there is a move, there is a consolidation, there is a move, there is a consolidation, and then you go about it. So as you said, right, when you break out, what matters is how you break out. And then when you consolidate for that move, that also matters. As I said, right, the contractions also matter as much as your expansions matter. So definitely, if, if the stock did not want to give you such good momentum, the buyers were not present or whatever, you wouldn't have gotten these small candles. You would have gotten a big red candle or very volatile candles. And the stock would have gone up, but in a very lethargic manner, a very slow, sluggish manner.
Okay, sir. So basically, it depends on the contraction around the location and the
Right.
move it reaches to the location.
Correct. How does it reach, and then what does it do?
Okay.
I mean, just see. I mean, see the difference for yourself. Olectra gave you a move here,
Yes, sir.
consolidated well.
Yes.
After that, see, do you see any consolidation here?
Yes, sir, I get it.
You get that point, right? I mean, you may put these two charts side by side of Olectra and JBM and see the difference for yourself.
Yes.
And then see these candles. Look at this, 10%, minus 10%. Then again, okay, fine, that 10% got covered, but then again came back down. So it took a lot of time and became lethargic. I mean, see these candles will take some time now. So that's the point. That's the way to go about it.
Sir, I have another question about the principle of polarity. So we see basically if a stock previously like say on daily time frame, it made 2 to 3 resistance, and now it is in pullback or in consolidation or correcting. And then how do we know that from these 2 or 3 resistance, which will act as a support, which we call a principle of polarity, and like the big resistance or big support like that? मतलब कौन सा support हम में
Okay. Help me draw your query. So basically what you are saying is there is an expansion, right? First there is expansion.
Yes.
Then you start correcting, you start pulling back.
सर इससे पहले मतलब 2 या 3 रेजिस्टेंस ये ऑलरेडी फेस कर चुका है, लाइक स्लोली मूव कर रहा है ये.
So everything is happening within the level of resistance.
Yes, sir.
So you are saying there is a, let's say,
Expansion.
and now this is happening.
This expansion like जो previous expansion है, तो पहले expand किया, then small contraction and then expand, मतलब 2 to 3 resistance already दे चुका है ये, उसके बाद contract होना शुरू हुआ है.
Okay, got your point. So you are saying, let's say, this,
Yes.
and now it's contracting. So you are asking whether this will be, or whether this will, or this will.
Yes, sir. So is it related to the when in price?
So you are basically asking me whether this will happen, or this will happen, or this will happen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think you have the answer to this. It's pretty simple answer. Can anyone help Arshdeep here? Yes, Mano.
So it is the first that if it goes upside, it's still in the right. If it crosses that the first resistance, then it may start downtrend. It may have a potential downtrend. It will be a reverse.
Okay. Oh. Anyone else? Yes, Mano.
And sir, also the relativity for that expansion.
Okay. Vishal?
Could it be also that if we go to a higher time frame, we could get an answer from there? Like if it's a daily chart and it's making 3 or 4 bases, then if we look at monthly, it could be 4 or 5 candle. So potentially that could give a deeper correction.
Correct. That's the answer. So again, right, the higher time frames and the relativity. So again, as you will move forward, you'll learn about the cycles, the price correction, the time correction, more on that. As you said, right, let's say this is daily. by the point you are here, you can see, the monthly definitely would have made 3-5 candles, how much ever. And monthly decides to contract. No. Now, okay. This question brings me to a very interesting question that you will have once you know the moving averages. It will be very similar. How do I know the price will stop at 10 moving average, 20 moving average, 50 moving average, or 200? How do I know it will not stop at 10 and will stop at 20? How do I know that? Right? It's a very similar question. Again, see what exactly are we doing here? Are we learning to predict the markets? Let's say, are we here predicting things? I don't think we are here predicting things. We are learning how to act with the information you have right now in front of you. That's what you're learning, right? So when you ask a question, how do I know it'll stop here or here? If I had a definite answer for that, I mean, the job is done for everyone then. You get that point? Although you'll have the answer, here you will have the answer, but just think about it. So it's not about where it will stop. It's about where it is doing what. If with everything that you know right now, yes, the answer that Vishal gave, Anurag wrote in Relativity, right, the chat, answer is absolutely correct. Relativity, the higher time frame and all that. So in that case, you may have a deeper correction. On this time frame, it may look like a downtrend and all that, and it may take actual support here and not here. The point is, how does it matter? I'll say, okay, it will take support here. Then what? It takes support here, then what? Does it mean a buy? It could be just a push. Then it goes up a bit, takes support, comes back down. And that's exactly what you're here for. Because see, most of the people have learned to predict. They'll say, okay, the price will take support here. So what do? They buy. Why? Because they predict prices will do this. But the price takes supports. It goes up a little bit up. They think they are right. Price comes back down. They say the support failed or the support broke down or such things happen. Because they predict and then they play. The point is to act on what is happening right now in front of your screen. What is the data that is there? Deal with that. What is the data telling you? What is the chart telling you? What is the candlestick telling you? That's what we are here learning. But if you put all the concepts together, you'll have a deeper correction because, the relativity will kick in and you will go downwards. And, you may get very small bounces from these two. And then eventually you get a good bouncer. Again, the concept of time plays out. The concept of scale plays out, as this will be a resistance which was created way back than these two. So good bounce will happen and that bounce will sustain, leading to another leg of up move. But pay attention to what I've said, right? We are not predicting stuff. We are here to act. We see something happening, we analyze it, and we act on that. That's what we are doing. That's what we are learning. That's what you have to do. So, Arshdeep, I hope this is clear. I hope you have this answer. The answer was pretty simple.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Anything else?
Lots of time.
Pranay?
So also I have seen this case at the time of expansion. So we have seen that in the previous structures, the CV candles are like 9%, 15% up. Good candles are there. But similarly, when we talk about the future expansions, sometimes it goes like 10% and again will come back to 6%. So we cannot predict also the expansions. Like I've seen the recent case of IFCI. IFCI, it is there are good candles, good CV candles, but in the recent move past 2-3 days back, it was a good CV candle. Then it came back to 6%, and then again yesterday or day before yesterday, it made a good CV candle again.
You're talking about my trade. ISKI, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll show you where I bought. Is the chart visible? Okay, I think, yeah. This was the day I bought. Since I'm not very actively trading, I'm not at my system. In the morning, I think this was up to 2.5%. In the very beginning, that's where I entered. This is such a beautiful opportunity. This is such a beautiful thing that has happened, Pranay, here, that you'll appreciate this in so much richness in a few lectures. But this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Again,
But sir, my question is, before 4 candles before also the similar candle is formed,
correct.
and then you can see this green candle you are seeing in your chart. This is actually 6%. When I talk about previous 2-3 candles, it has given 9% also. So I can expect this CB candle to be also similar to the similar candle previous to this, but it has come back again.
Correct. Okay, so there is something that has happened, Pranay, here, which was the reason this happened and whatever. You will learn it. You will learn it in lecture 20th. But whatever happened here was beautiful, and this was such a good trading opportunity. But anyways, this is everything that has happened here is good. Can't tell you much here. There are more details than you know. But it was a good trading opportunity here. If I was at system, I definitely would have bought this stock here. And I've been talking about IFKI on the channel for the past few months. IFKI and IREDA, right? These two stocks looked pretty similar, honestly. Right? Looked pretty similar. The same thing happened here again. Gapped up, came back down completely, and then went up. The question is why and how do we take advantage of that? You will learn all this and you will be able to take these trades. So, there is a phenomenon. Again, I'm expecting correction here. Location push. If the correction happens, that will be brilliant and amazing. But it might just keep on going up. Let's see that. Yeah, but this is good. Again, some people will say, it came back and completely retraced back all the gains it did. Something brilliant happened over here. And then you had the move. So, again, there was another trade which I had to get out of it because it requires a lot of management now. I entered the stock on this day, 8th of July, had good moves here, but had to exit on this day at around same price of my buying. As I said, I'm not on my system, and this is a trade that has now become a trade of a lot of management. And I just don't have the energy and time for that. But you see this, it looks amazing. It looks amazing here. Looks amazing here. But anyways, similar things have happened in few more stocks. We'll talk about these things later. But anyways, anything else, Pranay?
No, sir.
Okay. So, if I have to give you a technical answer to that, why did it not go that particular day? Why did it come back to 6%? The answer is, where was it in its cycle? That's the answer. Now, what is the cycle? You'll get the details later on, but that's the answer. Vishal?
सर 2-3 क्वेश्चंस है एक बार जीएमडीसी का चार्ट खोलेंगे प्लीज
GMDC?
हाँ जी
Okay, previous batch is on this.
अब इस पे 2020 के फॉल एक बार मंथली पे कर लीजिए सर ताकि मैंने इसका एनालिसिस किया था सो उससे कुछ क्वेश्चंस थे तो वो मैं जानना चाह रहा था अब इसमें जो फर्स्ट इसने जो बेस बनाया जहाँ से ये मूविंग एवरेजेस टर्न अप हो रही है
This one?
यहाँ हाँ जी तो यहाँ पे तो आई वाज एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इन द सेंस दैट why this push was generated and even up to sorry एक सेकंड, मैं जो मेरे चार्ट्स है वो खोल के मैं बताता हूँ. जस्ट गिव मी वन मोमेंट प्लीज.
Sure.
So the first question was, अगर आप 2021 नवंबर के बाद का एक 5 कैंडल का मूव देखेंगे डेली पे, सॉरी वीकली पे, तो दैट even though CB candles थे, everything looked perfect in the sense that moving averages were turning up, but it was not able to break the resistance.
Okay.
तो यहाँ पे मतलब in terms of momentum, it was a good momentum build up. ऐसी situations में क्यों, what possible reasons could be कि ये, क्योंकि अगर आप इसके बाद में जब ये ब्रेकआउट दे रहा है तब आप देखेंगे तो ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर लेवल से ही वापस जा रहा है. फर्क सिर्फ ये है कि वापस आई थिंक ये 50 पे सपोर्ट लेता है और फिर ये वापस चला जाता है. और ये ब्रेकआउट देता है, बट ब्रेकआउट के बाद में फिर वापस नीचे आ जाता है, एंड देन इट अगेन ट्राइज इट सेकेंड टाइम, नहीं बनता, एंड देन थर्ड टाइम इट डज इट. सो एक जो लॉजिक मुझे इसका समझ आया वाज प्रोबेबली बिकॉज इट वाज अ लॉन्गर टर्म रेजिस्टेंस, तो शायद इसको मोमेंटम ज़्यादा चाहिए था, दैट्स व्हाई इट केम बैक डाउन एंड देन it broke the resistance and it took the time. But अगर हम मतलब कई बार ये कर पाता है और कई बार ही नहीं कर पाता. जैसे ये 3 कैंडल का मूव इसने दिया, गुड कैंडल्स, 6-7% की कैंडल्स भी हैं. ये कैंडल्स इतनी बड़ी क्यों नहीं बन पाई जो कि इसके जस्ट कुछ जो मई में जो मूव आया है. लाइक आई वाज ट्राइंग टू फाइंड रीजंस व्हाई दिस worked the second time but didn't work the first time.
So everything that you are asking, all the analysis, the breakouts, it's on the monthly time frame, right?
This is weekly. Weekly पे अगर आप इसी put
What's the time frame? What's the time, duration of that? What's the area zone of your analysis?
नवंबर 21 के बाद एक 5 कैंडल का मूव आता है, देन इट टेक्स अ ब्रेक, और फिर 3 कैंडल का मूव आता है वीकली पे. सो गुड सीवी कैंडल, फर्स्ट सेकंड गुड सीवी कैंडल्स, लेकिन मोमेंटम बिल्ड नहीं हो पाता.
So you're asking for the move that it gave from January 2022 to April 2022.
No. नवंबर 21 के बाद का मूव देखिए वीकली पे. आप अगर मेरा चार्ट जो मैंने एनालिसिस में शेयर किया था, अगर आप एक बार वो खोलेंगे तो उसमें मैंने लिखा भी हुआ है कि आरसीबी बट डिडंट जनरेट मोमेंटम एज वीकली 5 कैंडल. तो उसके बाद में जो नेक्स्ट 3 कैंडल का मूव था, नॉट श्योर व्हाई दिस मूव कुडंट जनरेट मोर मोमेंटम as there was an event of MA crossover on daily. Even CBs were printed.
Okay. I've not gone through this chart because, I'm not able to read exactly. So just share this chart again in the file format. It had problems
Sure.
on zooming. Yeah.
Okay. And then another question that I had was, there are times when the stock takes support on, like, say, 50, and then the other times it takes support on like 200. Similarly, अगर आप उसको मंथली फ्रेम पे देखते हैं तो कई बार 10 पे सपोर्ट ले रहा है, कई बार 20 पे ले रहा है. What could be the reasons कि कब वो 20 पे लेगा, कब वो 10 पे लेगा?
Nilay, are you here? Is Nilay here?
Yes, sir.
So, what would you say to Vishal right now for the doubt he has?
So I would say cycles and time frames.
So he get the answer in cycles, right?
Yes, sir. If it's asking why sometimes it stops at 10 or sometimes it's 20, then cycles.
Okay. So Vishal, the doubt that you're asking, it's something that you'll have very, very detailed work. You will get very detailed work on that. The moving averages that you mentioned. It'll be great. It'll be a great lecture for you, honestly, Vishal, if you have this doubt, right? It'll open up a lot of things to you. So be a bit patient for that query.
Yeah, sure. And one last question.
Yeah.
So I was looking at this chart of Pricol.
Hmm.
अब Pricol का अगर आप monthly देखते हैं सर, it's a very interesting chart. Like you'll see a series of
Hmm.
bullish candle. लेकिन इस जैसे charts को study कैसे करें? Like there's no break in momentum. It's just going straight up. कोई बहुत बड़ी candles भी नहीं बना रहा है. Decent है कई. Sometimes it's making 3 to 5, but the other times it's just making like 1 or 2, but it just keeps moving up and up and up and up.
Correct. So first of all, the question is, what is your comment on DNA of this? What?
DNA definitely not great.
Correct. Good. Fine.
So
Now,
if अगर DNA का filter नहीं pass होता, then we just ignore the stock.
absolutely. There is no point, honestly.
Okay, so there's no points.
There's no.
So I was just wondering if there's any way to study.
No, see, first of all, again, right? You don't like the DNA. You may put on a trade, but the experience of putting on that trade might not be the best. There might be much, much, much better opportunities, right? So the opportunity cost for these stocks is a lot higher. So that's one thing. But you say, no, I like, how the stock has been going up. I feel the company is doing good. Whatever may be the reason I want to take a part in that. Fine, then you'll learn your things, you'll learn the cycles, you'll learn your trade management. Find an opportunity of good, low risk, take your entry, and you can clearly see, how it has been going up. And this is a characteristic of the stocks which are in their all-time highs. All-time highs, the stock is in all-time high for a reason. For a reason, it's in these all-time highs in uncharted territory. The price the company has never seen before. The investors have never seen before. There is a reason for that. So these are the stocks, it just keep going up, keep going up. They do it when they're their all-time highs. No, only thing you can do with them, you cannot predict. As if you see this stock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles, it has already given in 6M. 6-month time frame, right?
Yeah.
Print the 7th, could print 8th, could print 9th, or this might be the last. You don't know, I don't know. You cannot predict that.
Yeah.
You're going beyond sense. So the only thing that will be on hand will be management. How do you manage the trade? And there are only 2 ways to manage. Get your entry right, get your exit right. Nothing else you can do.
Yep.
So you'll learn this, you'll learn all these rules. If you are following, this was a stock I bought here, and I think I sold somewhere here, 305, 304. In this region, I exit the stock, and while I was exiting, I mentioned that this is a brilliant stock, may go on for a long, long period of time. But that's beyond my boundaries. I need to trade many times in a month. I have a high churn rate. I don't sit on the stocks. I may put some money and leave it over there. That's about it. And see where the stock is today priced. But again, that's a personal boundary. Now, if I decided to hold on to that, I bought it here. I got the buying right. I could have made 190%. I made 30-40%. That's pretty good. I'm fine with that. I don't see that, I missed on such a good stock or anything, because that's not my boundaries. Because see the experience, at one point you were up 30-50%, then you're suddenly down to 28%. Do you accept that? Is it worthy to you? Yes, go on, keep that stock. It's not, get out. But how did I know at this point of time that this will go on for a good period of time? 2 candles, good consolidation. Now the question is 53%, 40%, that's almost 100% and consolidation of just 4 months. How do I know? Only 4 months, not more than that. Because even if, let's say, it consolidated for more 4 months, so make it 8 months of consolidation, relativity wise, that would have been okay. How do I know? How do I differentiate? That's a big question that is looming, right? You will learn all this in cycles. How do I know whether this is ready or not, and will it do good or? So you'll learn all this.
So, sorry, last, absolutely last. So from the inference that I'm taking from what you're saying now is that we need to then also like whenever we start trading or we reach that level, we'll also have to decide on कि हम किस तरह के ट्रेडर बनना चाह रहे हैं, कि हम मतलब किस टाइम फ्रेम पे, लाइक इन द सेंस इंट्राडे या फिर 3 से 6 महीने या उस तरह का.
Correct.
Will that decision have to be made before we like kind of?
Absolutely.
Okay.
See, if you're fine, you may be doing scalping, you may be doing swing or whatever, holding for a couple of days. You may be holding for weeks and you may be holding for months all together. If you can handle that, if you can do that, please go ahead. You may be able to do everything. But let's say, see, I have Alpesh, I think, is Alpesh here with us today? I don't think he has joined. So he basically, let's say, you have a profile. You say that, see, whatever is happening, it's fine. I want to take 5-6 good trades in a year. That's it. So you will have your set of rules, you will have your boundaries. You say, no, I want to trade every single week, or I probably want to trade every single day. You will have your different boundaries and you will have very different way to handle everything. But again, it's about what all things are you capable of doing. Some people are they just cannot do scalping. Some people just cannot hold for a very long period of time. While some people can do everything almost effortlessly, right? So that depends, right? So you'll have to figure out what do you want, what does your lifestyle allow you to do, what are your time constraints. Accordingly, you will make a system and be with that.
Oh, good. Thank you so much.
Amit?
So my question is not based on the chart, but it's basically, as we are not trying to predict the move, but we are trying to gather the information and then plan our response. So while we are trying to do that, isn't it possible that we get attached with that particular stock we are chasing, and then any move after gathering information generates a fear of missing out in us, and we kind of start taking bad decision? Is there any objectivity or any such tools which can help us to come out of the fear of missing out? And similarly, when it is time to exit from the trade, that time also we might have the fear of missing out. Maybe trade goes up and it goes down, and our losses and whatever we have gained will go back to the market. So can we tackle those psychological issues as go through cycles and learn things here?
Yeah. The technical knowledge that you will have, it will not leave any space for these psychological issues to come up. If they are coming up, probably you are not very clear with the things. And as I said, right, as I said to Vishal, and just see this. I know, I always say this, I majorly play my positions for 10 to 30% move. I knew this stock can offer very good returns, but that's beyond my boundaries. I'm here for 10-30% move. I get that. I'll be majorly out of the stock. What happens after that, I don't care. I've drawn that boundary, and this chart doesn't make me feel any way. And make me feel any guilt, regret, FOMO, whatever. I don't feel any way. Why? Because I had the clarity while I was entering. So whenever you will pick a stock, whenever you will trade, you will first plan the trade. Why are you entering? What are you entering for? What are the rules you are going to manage? What is the plan? Once you have that clear, then take that trade and do everything as you have decided, no matter what happens. There'll be no place for subjectivity. If, let's say, you and me both buy here, I play for 10-30%, you say that, okay, everything looks good. This is monthly, so the scale will be monthly, so I'll just trade accordingly. You will be somebody, who will keep holding the stock. While I'll be out here, you'll see these highs, but you'll also have to manage these lows. There'll be circuits of minus 5%, there'll be circuits of minus 10% that you'll have to go through. Can you do that? Yes, go ahead. So as I said, you'll have to draw your own boundaries. But this is a question that that will never come up, honestly. If you understand everything I'm teaching you, if you do everything as I ask you to do, you'll never ever run into these problems. And see, as long as you're making good money, these things don't come up, honestly. And when you're doing that with clarity and consistency, FOMO and all these things come. Let's say when you are trading, the markets are great. Start taking trades, you start making money. But somewhere you know that there is no clarity in you. Some stocks work, some don't. That is exactly where the FOMO comes. Oh, well, let's say you've entered a stock, you exited at a gain of 10%, but that stock went on to give 60%. Now you have FOMO because now you're not sure whether you will be able to nail an opportunity very similar the next time or not. Why? Because you never had the clarity in first place while you took that trade. That's exactly where these issues come from. If you had the clarity why you took that trade, why that trade worked so well, then there's the trouble, because the next time that opportunity comes up, you will be able to know it, because you know when that stock goes up so much and when that stock doesn't, right? But when you don't have that clarity, you will always be anxious. You'll always have the FOMO. You'll always have that guilt. You'll always have that regret, because you'll always feel like, oh, I think I missed that opportunity and now I don't know whether I will get that opportunity or not. And even if I get the opportunity, will I be able to participate in it or not? That's where these emotions come from. So, again, the technical knowledge you will have is going to be on a different level. And if you truly abide by that, no matter what happens, as I've said. And that's why, at the start of this batch, I said that stay away from the social media, especially these Twitter people, these Telegram people, these people on YouTube or even Facebook. Then make it difficult for you. So, I hope, Amit, I answered your question.
Yes, thanks. And I have one more question. It was asked by Ajay in the group, but basically he asked, like, people are saying there will be some move and FNO will be not, and how it is going to impact our chart analysis, because those people who were there will eventually come to intraday trading and then charts will look different. Is there something which we can do to our chart analysis, focus on some particular areas and, be aware of the problems which will be created, or there is nothing going to change? Whatever we are learning is still okay and need not to focus on any particular area. I think that's what he asked.
Okay. I'll tell you one more thing. I think couple of months back or 3-4 months back, your AMFI, the Association of Mutual Funds in India, something came up. I did not read much. I heard from someone, that they have made some rules that the mutual funds cannot invest large amounts or whatever amounts in some small cap or mid caps, or they'll have to go for the large caps. I know a lot of noise was made on Twitter that now, the liquidity will not be there in the markets and the charts will look different. Now only large caps you will be able to trade and all that. There was a lot of noise. What is happening today? Tell me. Nothing different. As I've said here, you're not learning a pattern. You're not learning a very mechanical stuff. You are learning a very dynamic framework which encompasses everything in this world. No matter what regulations they put, as long as the market is there, liquidity is there, things are moving through demand and supply, nothing is going to come out of this. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thanks. Also, you said you will be sharing some books, some printouts, some handwritten material.
That is later. That is later.
Okay. Thanks.
Arshdeep?
Yes, sir. So, first thing I want to thank you for providing this opportunity. सर काफ़ी मुझे 2 to 3 years हो चुके हैं मार्केट में एंड आई वाज ट्रेडिंग द मोस्टली पैटर्न गाइज एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट स्टफ एंड when I watched your video on YouTube, I was amazed. And even your free videos providing so much learning that this cycle, MA cycle, I have watched first time on your YouTube channel. And from that knowledge, half knowledge that maybe I can say, I had traded TPL Plus. I bought that trade a win-win situation, 10% in 4 days. Sir, can you open chart TPL Plus?
Yeah, it's a stock I've been seeing for past 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. Sir, on 1st April, it printed a CB candle of 1st April. Yes, sir. From on that day, on 3 to 4 April, I entered in a stock from which I have learned in your MA cycle. At 10 moving average पे आएगा तो move देगा like that. So that day on 9 or 10 April, it got that move like 11 to तो उस टाइम पे मैंने स्टॉक से एग्जिट कर दिया था क्योंकि प्रीवियस रेजिस्टेंस भी थी इस पे. तो लाइक एट दैट टाइम आई वाज अमेज्ड कि उस टाइम मैंने स्टॉक को मतलब एग्जिट कर दिया था. तो एट दैट टाइम आई थॉट दैट कि नहीं कुछ लर्निंग एक्स्ट्रा मतलब कुछ है इस मतलब जो मैंने पहले नहीं सीखा. तो दैट्स व्हाई आई जॉइंड दिस अकेडमी.
That's amazing, Arshdeep.
यस,
That's a good, that's an amazing.
उस टाइम पे पता नहीं था कि क्यों ये मूव मतलब पर किया.
Correct.
नाउ आई गेट इट कि क्यों उस टाइम पे ये स्टॉक मूव किया.
Correct. That's amazing, Arshdeep.
यस,
I mean, there's a lot more to come in cycles. A lot of details will come after lecture 19. I think there'll be parts of lectures. And there'll be part 1 of lecture 19. Then there'll be part 2 of lecture 19. And same thing will be with 20. And then, so yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff to figure out. Pranay?
Sir, does sector analysis also plays an important role in selecting the stock in the like it will move up or not?
I would say not sector analysis, but sector awareness is something that will be important. I'll tell you, if you have been watching these weekly and monthly videos that I make, at times I make, at times I don't get time. I said about chemicals, I said about pharmaceuticals. I mean, you can go back. The videos are available, the monthly and the weekly ones. I do nothing. I don't do any sector analysis or anything. I'm just more aware person. And I think I've made a video on this. I do remember making a sector analysis video where I talked about sector awareness. Just increase your awareness and you will get it. So the point is, when you're scanning, right, always be mindful of the companies you are seeing the name. So let's say you have 50 stocks you go through. Out of those 50, you see that the 10 names were from a pharmaceutical, right? You see that this is also pharma, this is pharma, this is pharma. And then you see that all the pharmaceuticals companies are not on D, are not on W. They are setting them on monthly. Means what? Means the scale or the move or everything, the patience, the time will happen on the monthly. Which means this could be a sector for the months to come, not for the days. So I would say sector analysis is an entirely different stuff, honestly. I've done a lot of sector analysis in my job, and that is entirely different. We used to study, the Indonesian, Malaysian, these shrimp markets, and then we used to look for the opportunities in the markets of India, and so that is what sector analysis is, and that's a big stuff. So what you have to do in the markets as a trader, as a working professional, be aware of the companies you are getting. And there's a video I'll post, not right now. We'll make some money first. Then there is a video about this sector stuff. Basically, there are two kind of sectors. See, railways, right? You see every railway stock right now is performing absolutely well, right? Brilliantly well. You see the fertilizer stocks, NFL, RCF, FACT, Paradeep, all these are doing amazingly well. So all you need to do about the sectors is be aware about these sectors. You will get more information from this. But yeah, the sector analysis term that is being used on the social media or anywhere, you don't have to do that. Just be aware when you scan.
Because there are two sectors, sir. One is Nifty sector, which comes in the Nifty Pharma. There are certain stocks that are there. And there are sectors like data center, which is hot right now. Like there are, like IRNL is also. IRNL is different and IRFC is different. IRFC is within the financial sector. Rather than a proper railing sector. So which sector, so should we go for the Nifty sector, or should we take them as individual, like data center? Like Anantraj is also into data center. Actually, that is a real estate company.
Correct. So all that will help is, first of all, just forget about sector analysis. Focus on the technical stuff. Once you know that, will reverse engineer the sector analysis in your technical analysis, and you'll understand it. And you'll know it better than anyone.
Okay, sir.
Amit?
Yeah, so basically it's just the same thing like Pranay was asking, sector rotation. So yesterday I have one of your scan on the Darvas box. Yesterday I ran it. It was being Friday. So I found that out of 11, 8 companies which I found in Darvas scan box were from the IT sector. So it gave me 11 stocks, but 8 were from IT, just to add to it.
Correct. I'll show you. I mean, see. Okay. This is how LTIM look, the structure, right? Wipro. This is how the structure looks. And mind you, in my group, I gave this here. CB candle. And it's Wipro. It's not a small company. It's a big company. It's a leading IT company. When you see this happening in the Wipro, you know the sector. This is enough to tell me which sector, what is happening, where it is happening, and for how long it will happen. How do I know that? Have some patience, and lecture 13th and 14th you will get the answer. But I think it's a scale of M. So it's a huge scale. So, going to be a bit choppy from here, but this will take some time to gather the momentum. And in some months, right now, you are probably hearing about the railways, the fertilizers. In some months, you will hear about your IT names. Okay, now I'm just aware. There is more. There's more. See what the structures are. If you see the NFL or any fertilizer setup, see the structure, see where the things are, see what is happening, and you will have your idea what kind of moves you will expect because the location and everything. Try to incorporate the technical knowledge that you have right now with these stocks. Since you have talked about this, I'll probably pin that video in your group because I don't think you have gone through that video. So, anyways, I'll put that link in your group and you may go through that. So that will help you. Okay, so yes, RMJP.
Can we discuss about ISMT Limited regarding the relativity which we posted in the
That is empty. Where are you? Okay, you are at a very interesting point. I think you have crossed that.
Yeah.
Just look
and the
how look.
Yeah.
How
on the monthly scale, should we take the the uptrend from 2020 lows or that was the point one, right? I'm just opening that.
see for perspective. See, is there an uptrend? No?
Yes, no, it is in the range.
Correct. So fine. So all in all, you are in a range. Within that range, this is an uptrend. What do we need now? We need a higher low. Then once that happens, that's where you will be able to call it the uptrend. Now ISMT is what? What does this company do?
Some steel, specialized steels.
Fine. So again, steel. So now you just take a note of that. And let's say when you're scanning, you see a lot of steel name coming up, then you know this is the sector where you should focus. But just have a look at the DNA. Do you like the DNA here?
Not really.
Then fine, then there is no point looking at this stock.
Since it was at all-time highs, I was looking at it. Okay. Thanks.
Great. Fine, then I think this is it for today's live session. I'll take up the other queries in your group and in the next live session. Which lectures could you teach us about cycles? Pranay is asking. You'll get the lecture when the time's right. Vishal is asking, how do we figure out what time duration trader one is? This is, Vishal, something that you will have to figure out. You'll have to put your money, you'll have to see. We'll have to see your lifestyle, right? Does your lifestyle allow you to be an intraday trader, scalper? And first of all, is it worthy for you? Do you want that? Or will you be better off somewhere else? Vishal, should we watch your monthly, weekly videos at this stage in course? No. Avoiding everything as you instructed, very well. I have deleted every app that could tell me that's amazing. That's amazing, but do we have Nilay still here? Because I think Nilay has left. He was someone who was pretty, I think, active on Twitter, and he basically once told me that let's say he's shortlisted a stock, he would then go onto the Twitter, he'll search for the hashtag of that stock. Once he sees that some Twitter accounts with good followers have posted that used to give him confidence. That's how he used to trade. And that took a really big toll, right? On his confidence, on his clarity, on his knowledge. But he has altogether stopped everything. I would request everyone here to do that. You might feel you are able to extract value just because you are getting more content. As I've said, more content is not the solution. Go deep into focus studies. That will help you. And see, I mean, honestly, by now, if you go see the people outside this academy, whoever that person is, I can make this claim, whoever that person is, see where do you stand in terms of clarity and see where do they stand. So you are much above anyone else out there. That's your choice. You want to level yourself down or you want to level yourself up. Yes, Suman.
Sir, can you check the chart of Orient Cement?
Orient Siemens. Okay, this is the last item. Orient Cement. Okay. So what is happening here?
Sir,
Yes. Location, resistance. Okay, so it was in a range. Now it's going into the uptrend. And this is how the weekly is. 3, 1 candle good. It has been consolidating for a long period of time. You had a really good move, not the best move you see here. There is a lot of element of wick in these candles. So, I mean, at this point, there is not more than this to discuss with you. Because the rest of the stuff basically goes into the trade management. So yeah, what's the query here?
the thing is that that weekly relative or not.
Up there, it's 43%, right?
Yes.
But you are at very important location. You are consolidating over what? A resistance, right? A level of polarity.
Yes.
I'll show you a very similar example. This was traded by your seniors. So the same thing was happening, I think, right? See this. 20%, yeah. So that 33%, and yet consolidated for what? 4 or 5 days, and gave you another 13% move. So that's exactly where the problem comes in, because again, it was at a location of resistance, and that's exactly where the consolidation was. So you had them. So as I've said, right, the concepts come together. Relativity comes together, but then you also see where is it is happening, how is it happening, what may happen. So, yeah, the Orient Cement, I mean, just see, look at this expansion. Look at the quality of these candles. Look at the quality of these candles. How do they look? And compare this with your Orient Siemens. Have a look at these candles. Have a look at this candle. This is an inside bar completely within this. And then have a look at this. So this one, as you can clearly see, has been consolidating for more than 5 or 6 days, right? More than reflex. What is the reason for that? The quality of the expansion.
Thank you. Bye.
A good session, a bit lengthy, but anyways, I'll see you. I'll post the next lecture now in your group, and then I'll see you in the next live session. Have a good day. Have a good night.